Today's guest is Carney, OBE, former England international, World Cup player and one of the most respected voices in football. After an incredible career with clubs like Arsenal, Chelsea and Chicago Red Stars, Karen has become a leading broadcaster and a powerful advocate for women's sport. Away from the pitch, she's now swapping her boots for the ballroom as she's a contestant on Strictly Come Dancing, showing once again that she's never afraid to take on a new challenge. Karen, it is a privilege to have you on the show today. How are you?
I'm honoured to be here in your company, to be honest, so thanks for having me. She's wicked.
No. Oh, it's so nice to see you. I mean, I've got loads of questions about Strictly.
Oh, fire away.
Firstly, how intimidating is it? You know, you're so used to being on the pitch and you've spent your years as a footballer and now you commentate and you're a pundit, but what's it like being on a dance floor?
It is strange, but I think because everyone at Strictly makes you feel really comfortable and you kind of do a lot of the dancing and you do so much rehearsal.
Yeah.
I'm saying that now, I probably regret saying this, but it feels like, I guess, how you would be like your race day. Like you've put in all the preparation and you get on race day, and the way I've just took it, especially on a Saturday, is like, just go for it. Like, it's your dream to be on the show. Like, it's a dream to be out there. Only 15 people a year get the opportunity.
Yeah.
So, like, of course I'm nervous. Of course I'm massively stepping out my comfort zone. But, like, that's where I want to be. Like, it's a privilege to be on this in this position. So I don't take it for granted and I just go for it as much as I can.
If you want more real, inspiring stories to guide you through life's toughest moments, make sure to follow Goldminds wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us and be part of this real conversation. You won't want to miss it. So was it something that you'd thought about previously to being asked? Like, do you ever thought of, when I retire, if I get asked to go on, I will 100% say yes?
Well, I never ever thought I'd be asked. Never ever thought I'd be asked, and that's genuine. But I love the show. I've watched it. I'm an interactive watcher at home.
Are you?
Yeah, I don't sit and watch, but if I really like the dance, I get up and dance.
Do you?
Yeah.
I love that.
But it's slightly improved because I have dinosaur hands when I used to watch it at home and dance and stuff. So I think I've got rid of the dinosaur hands a little bit. But yeah, I used to get involved at home, and for me, the aim is every week, if I was watching, say, me at home and I'd want to get up and dance, that would be success for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
So when they asked you, like, how did you feel? Like, you must have been just like having the amazing career that you've had, but then, you know, you go into this strange phase of retirement, you're in a completely different world essentially, and then you're asked to do Strictly, something that you've watched and loved for so many years. How did you feel?
It was, I couldn't believe it. You know, when I saw it written down and I was like, oh my God, I'm actually going to be on this. And it was really fast turnaround for me, but I absolutely loved it, and I have just gone with it. Like, especially with football and maybe with yourself in sport, you just kind of roll with everything, and I'm rolling with Strictly and enjoying it. I don't know how short or long it will last. I just want to enjoy every second of it, and like, hand on my heart, I'm genuinely privileged to be on it, and I just am so grateful. So I just really want to enjoy it, and I hope everyone at home sees that enjoyment too.
Oh gosh, absolutely loving watching you. And it almost feels like dancing's like a bit in your blood anyway. You know, you love dancing, and, you know, you've obviously get involved watching the shows at home. But dancing was a bit of a thing for you as a kid as well.
Yeah, I did. I danced a bit as a kid, and I find it very freeing. But I also really think that the way I played as a footballer was because of the little bit of dancing I did, and how I dance is also down to football. It's the fast feet, it's the sharpness, it's the power, it's the athleticism, and things like that. I'm a big believer in sport, of like trying lots of different sports, especially when you're a kid, like do everything. So I think you can learn, and I don't know how you feel about that, but I like threw myself into every sport as a kid. My mum and dad really encouraged that. And I think it just helps then when you do go into that specialised sport, and also like learning and understanding about other people as well, particularly from a team sport. My background, obviously, I just think it really, really helps. And so, yeah, I'm glad I did everything as a kid, really, and I did do some dancing, and I find sport completely freeing for me. Yeah. I'm not very confident, comfortable in, like, one-on-one is fine, like bigger settings and showbiz setting, that's probably a thing for
yeah,
me.
the showbiz setting's like a completely different environment, I imagine, to a sporting environment. And I know, obviously, you know, a lot of sports people go on to Strictly, and you can see that they have the ability to be coached really well, so they can pick up.
I don't know about that for me, Jess. I don't know.
You look like you can, like, very easily.
No, not at all. No, not
the
at all.
routine's hard.
Yeah. I'm going to rehearsal after this, and I'm thinking, I know it, so I have to watch mine. I have to learn it like a pattern.
Okay.
Which is probably why I do punditry, because I can see patterns. So I watch it like a pattern, but if I can't get the pattern, then I'm in a bit of a pickle. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a challenge, just because like I'm 38. When do you really learn like a real new skill at my age, particularly for me, and then you got to go and do it in front of millions?
Oh my gosh, it's literally filling me with dread. Like, it's so huge. And like you say, it's the patterns, it's knowing that you don't want to forget like one move. And you have to be like, your mind must be on so many different things. You're thinking about like the position of your hands and the beat of the music, and you've got your partner there. There's so many different elements to think about.
And managing the adrenaline's the hardest, because I guess for both of us, we have like, well, bang, I've seen you race and the adrenaline and like everything like that. And in like football, but I think in football I'd probably know how to manage it a little bit. But the dance floor is like a football pitch for me. The crowd, and then it's really loud in there, and it's really close and intimate, and it's an amazing arena in there. And so the last, I don't know how many dances, the last 2 dances, I've gotten into the crowd and forgot what I'm doing. So like last week I was meant to be She's a Lady, and I gave it, and I'm like, no, Karen, you're meant to be a lady. But I got into the crowd so much, and I was like, they're so good. They like really want you to do well, and they're so lovely. And I like went like that, and then I missed a step. I missed a step, then I missed another step, and then I was massively on the back foot, and then Collis just grabbed me, and we just did this thing, and we just went bang, it was over. I was like, thank God. You
didn't even notice though. Like you wouldn't see, I mean the judges might, but we wouldn't see those little mistakes. But I suppose in a way though, you're used to that like team environment and being in a team and having that security of other girls around you. Like is this like the first time you've stepped out by yourself really in a way that, you know, you're allowing yourself to be really vulnerable?
I was so vulnerable when I did the cha-cha. It was a cha-cha. Yeah, it was a cha-cha. Because I started on my own and came out and kind of like this more like, if I say sexy element.
It was very sexy, with your leg out.
I know. Oh, God, it was so awkward. The funny thing is, I always ask, can I please have shorts underneath? So they're always like, oh, and I wore socks, and I got told off for wearing socks. And the design team are just like, oh, we like you, we just give up on you now. But yeah, so coming at that on my own, walking down the steps in the heels and doing all that, like that was massive for me. That's nothing like team sport. That's nothing like football. And you'll know from your own amazing career is like sometimes you got to fake it so you make it. Well, you didn't need to fake it.
Everybody has to fake it so they make it.
Sometimes you have to strut on a race and or in a game, and you know, I'm not feeling great today, or you kind of like got to put it on, and so it's very different. Like that it is, dancing and football has similarities, but it's really different as well.
The foot movement though, like with your first dance, like you could see that obviously that crossover from football definitely helped. Like your movement was so fast, like you were just on every beat, and that must have helped a lot, just knowing all those years of like the positions that you've had to be in and the tackles and that kind of thing.
I didn't tackle, Jess. You can ask you. I know you had Steph on. If you asked Steph, she'd say Kaz wouldn't tackle. I didn't. I was a liability in defending. They were like, keep her away from us.
Get back.
Yeah.
Well, with those like foot movements, like you should have been straight in there, honestly.
No, I cause havoc with defended Jess, and that's all right. But no, it's good. Like I think the jive, the first dance, even like the shoes were like football boots, so it was really comfortable, and I was really comfortable in them. Like the last 3 dances I've been in like heels.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, you know, now wearing heels and just going out for a night out or just sitting, you know, having a meal, like your feet absolutely kill. And I was watching you thinking, how do you dance in heels now? Like, are your feet in pieces after?
Yeah, don't honestly, like that. that in itself is like I had my heels for last week didn't come till the day before, so I'd only had like a bit of time with them. So I was like, oh, I hope they don't come. I was like begging. I was like, oh, I hope they don't come. And they were like, if you wear your black shoes, which would look horrendous, you will get marked down. And I was thinking, yeah, but if I felt more comfortable and I danced better, would the marking actually balance itself out?
Yeah.
And they were like, you cannot. It's like the rules, you've got to wear. And I was like, oh, and then they came and I was like, oh.
That's such a big difference though as well, isn't it? Because like as a sports person, you know, you want to look good and feel good when you're out there competing, but you're not judged on the way you look, are you? Whereas Strictly and dancing and that kind of showbiz world, it's very much, what are you wearing? How are you looking? How are you presenting yourself? That must be a completely different feeling.
Yeah, it is. But then, you know what? I love the costume and design team. That's the bit I love about Strictly, is like I go in and it takes them a bit to get me to warm up to getting my arms out or showing an element of my leg. Like I'm like I sometimes wear dresses. I'm just more of a cover up type person. And so they slowly like do it, and then I had a thing in my head this week. If I get through, I'd really like to go to Vicky and say, I think I want to step out of my comfort zone in an outfit if I was to get through.
Yeah.
And I haven't obviously said that because I'm not through, but I'd love to be.
Yeah.
So I am certainly embracing that side, and that's really nice for me.
Yeah, that's amazing, because it's just, again, it's, you know, at the age we're at, you know, going out of your comfort zone and putting yourself in a completely different area, not just like privately, like it's so public as well. It's like a huge sense of achievement in a way as well.
Yeah, it's I did Strictly to improve my confidence, which might sound really bizarre. Probably the last 5 or 6 years, my confidence has been massively knocked, and I've been trying to figure out how I can improve it and get better. And I just thought, go on the show that you love, and the people around in Strictly are really amazing. It's a safe environment for me, and I just want to rip the Band-Aid off, and I didn't know another way other than this. And if I can walk down a stairs and do a cha-cha like that, then I know I'm getting more confident, and I'd love to be in it and see where I could be. So it's actually for me as well. Like, as much as I love the show, I know that this show will do amazing things for my confidence.
I think that's incredibly brave, because you know, I sit here and I feel like I'd be so nervous to push myself out of my comfort zone that. No, honestly, so nervous, because you know, get used to doing things a certain way and being in a certain environment. But for you to step into a completely new world, when you say that your confidence has been knocked as well, is like incredible. And you didn't just step into it. Like, your first dance was insane. Like, did you imagine that it was going to go the way it did, and how did you feel after?
No, I mean, I couldn't comprehend all the comments after. I'll be brutally honest, I come from football, and being in the punditry world, there's very little compliments really. Yeah. So to hear those positive comments and to be in such a positive like arena, as I call it, was just, I couldn't cope with it. Yeah. I couldn't cope with what I was hearing. But the dance itself, I love dancing with Carlos particularly Friday and Saturdays when we're at the studio. And when I'm with him, like, he is an incredible dancer, and I love being with him. And he just, in that dance and in all of them actually, there's an element where he just goes, oh, I don't care anymore, Kaz, just go and enjoy it. So the last bit of the dance, he's just like, I don't really care. You're not a pro dancer. Just go and do what you got to do. And I just run around and jump around and
nail all the moves perfectly.
Well, I elbowed in that jive dance. I elbowed him in the rehearsal and popped his nose.
No way.
Yeah. So we did 3 rehearsals and got them all wrong. And we had to change our rehearsal time by 2 hours because his nose wouldn't stop bleeding.
Oh no.
So like, as much as everyone's like, oh, you did amazing, it was absolute chaos all before that first dance. And it's really funny how all the chaos that goes behind it, it's not like chaos as in, oh my God, it is kind of chaos. But then when you see it like come together, whether it's good or bad, and it comes together, you're like, it's so special. That's why I'm like, you'd be amazing.
I mean, well, I'm not sure about that, but I think getting all the chaos and everything out before the show is obviously the way to do it. I'm just looking at your picture there because I always get everyone to bring in 3 items, but you've got 4 today because you're super special. And the Strictly one just had to come in here because I think just what a way to start your whole like Strictly campaign. And Carlos sounds like a fantastic coach. And yeah, I'm excited to see what comes next.
I hope so. I've never been so happier.
On this podcast, I'm always inspired by people pushing themselves to the new heights, and that same spirit comes through in David M. Robinson's latest collection. Each design captures a different side of life, and at the heart of them all is the same promise: stylish jewellery crafted to the very highest standards, with a level of detail that makes every piece feel truly special. From day-to-day pieces to iconic collections to bespoke items, DMR has something for everyone. Alongside jewellery, DMR are also retailers of leading luxury watch brands, so it's a perfect place to mark life's milestones. Discover the piece that could mark your own golden moment. Just head to the link in the description. Dream it, make it, love it. With the FIFA World Cup coming up in Seattle 2026, I've been thinking about the places that give you the best of both worlds, a vibrant city and the space to recharge. That's why Seattle stands out. They call it Mother Nature's City, and you'll see why the moment you arrive. Picture this: a morning run along the waterfront, followed by incredible food and world-class art in the heart of downtown. Few cities let you do all that in one day. Seattle is inclusive, welcoming, and full of energy. It's a city that invites you to explore, whether it's savouring fresh seafood at Pike Place Market, diving into its legendary coffee culture, or soaking up the views of Phuket Sound and the mountains beyond. Imagine the world's biggest sporting events set against this backdrop of natural beauty and urban excitement. For me, Seattle is a perfect mix of adventure and inspiration. It's at the top of my list, and it should be on yours too. Discover more at visitseattle.org and start planning your perfect summer of football.
When those dances end, I genuinely have never been so happier.
Is it just like a sense of relief, or you just like genuinely enjoy the performance?
I enjoy it, but I'm also really proud because I wanted to do it, and I know that it's a lot, and I'm proud of what me and him have done.
Yeah,
and I really love it. I love dancing with him on a Saturday night. I really do.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait for Halloween.
I've got to get there, Jeff.
Got to get to Halloween. Got to get to Halloween.
Got to get there.
So, I mean, you've obviously had loads of positive comments though, but is there one particular positive comment that you've had from anyone in the public or friend or family that has really just stuck with you?
The thing that I enjoyed from particularly after the jive and actually the last couple of weeks is how many kids have tried to do the dance or, have done it, and how many of my mates' kids, like, it's really weird. Like, me and Jill Scott speak about it all the time, and I laugh about Jill. I'm like, you've won the Euros with England and you've got so many caps, and like you're like, but everyone was going, you're so funny, Jill, and she gets wound up about it. She's like, I was a good footballer,
But she's so funny.
She is so funny. And for me, like with my mates who are lionesses and they've had their children, and I try and tell their kids, your mum was like a baller. She like played for the lionesses, and they're like, oh, okay. But then I started doing Strictly, and their kids are just obsessed with me being in Strictly and doing the dances. And like, that's the thing that really warms my heart is seeing the kids do it. And I just never thought I'd be able to impact like people of all ages. But that's because the show's so special. Like it's such a special show. And I watched it at home and I was like, I'd love to be in it. But now I'm in it, I'm like, I get it. And it really can make a huge impact. And if I can do that, it makes my day. If I can see the little kids having a go and be inspired, or, people said, I didn't hear about Sherman's or anything like that. Thanks for speaking about it. Or like, it just makes so positive because I just haven't really had that for the last few years, particularly in what I've done. But
you've had that for so many years before, though. You've been inspiring and doing incredible things. And, if we go to your first item that you've brought to share with us, just talk us through what it is and what this kind of signified at that stage in your career for you.
I think was that Young Player of the Year. I won it 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
I think I was 17 and 18.
So young.
Yeah, I was a baby, really. I was 17 when I played for England first team. I was still doing my A-levels.
Oh my gosh. And what was it like when you got called up that first time?
I have to be honest with you, I went to McDonald's to celebrate as the proper athlete I was.
Usain Bolt ate chicken nuggets all the time.
There we go.
I think it's fine.
Exactly. But yeah, no, winning those awards was really special. I never thought, with me, I never think of anything. I just do it because I like doing it. I love doing it.
Yeah.
And all the rest of it, if that comes with it, I'm like, wow. But that was pretty special. I've not really thought about it, if I'm honest, Jess.
If you go back to that time, though, and you think about, the young you, 17, 18-year-old, sat in that room, I mean, it must have been a pretty incredible environment and room to be part of. Do you remember those emotions and going on stage? How did that feel for you?
I think when I was 17 and 18, I played like no one was watching. I played like an 11-year-old kid, and it was really freeing. And I was so happy playing, and I loved playing. I was obviously the team that I played for was my team, Birmingham City.
Yeah.
And that was my home team. I'd always wanted to play for them. The team, I was a mascot for them when I was 8. I had a kit every birthday, and to play for them, and then football was always really freeing for me when I played. So as much as I've won accolades, the thing for me is that I just loved what I did, and I loved being free in that moment. And that's how I felt as a 17-year-old. The awards is amazing, and I'm so grateful for it. But I just loved being free and just doing my thing. And I definitely did that when I was 17, 18.
Was football always the sport for you from day dot?
Yeah, I couldn't really relate to anything else. But and even when I walked out with the jive, I took football with me. And then the next week I took football with me. It's my comfort blanket. It's what I know. It's where I'm happy. I understand it. I understand the patterns. And I just like the rhythm of football, and it's always been my happy place.
So how did you start with football though? Was it just you pick up a football at school and you started at school, or how did you then take it to club level and all the success that you went on to have within in the footballing world?
My family are massive football fans.
Yeah.
And my elder sister, who's, sorry for saying it, she's 12 years older than me. She really loved football but didn't have the opportunities. And it's really interesting to see from, 12 years difference between me and her, the opportunities I had, and then my niece and what she could have. So it's 3 generations of such different opportunities, which is, we're on that positive journey now. But yeah, my family just got me into it, and I don't know, I was just obsessed with it. There was always a football, or a teddy, or something to kick around the house. And I think in the end they were my mum and dad were okay, our eldest, we couldn't find the opportunities for her, and but this kid, she's obsessed with it. We can't stop her kicking anything.
Yeah.
And my dad kind of stepped in and was we've got to find a place for her.
Yeah.
And they did, a local team, and it just literally then went from there. And I don't know what's happened since.
What do you think your key characteristics are though? Because I was asked last night, I was at Eventa, and there was a woman there, and she was saying, you see kids that are good at sport, don't you? And there's loads of talent within whatever sport it might be, football, athletics. But then what allows those individuals like yourself to then go to that next level? Do you think it's a mindset? It's that obsession?
What did you say?
Well, I was that's a great question. I said, I do think it's an innate kind of something within certain kids that they have another level to push themselves, train that obsession. But I also think environment plays a big part. And in football, obviously, it does. And you've seen that change over the years anyway, access and great coaches. What is it that you feel that kind of set you aside from, other girls that you might have played football with at that age, but then went on to do completely different things?
I think even something I'm going to go maybe a bit off tangent with that question, but it's still my answer. It is that, say my elder sister, right? I have 2 siblings who are 12 and 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
So when I was 10, 11 and really getting into football, my siblings were in their 20s. So effectively, my mum and dad had more disposable income to try and give me the opportunity to play sport. If I was 8 or 9 years older, I wouldn't have made it. I genuinely believe that because my siblings had moved out and had gone on their own journey, I was like an only child. And my mum started working, so then she could then say, okay, this kid really likes football. I'm going to, in the holiday, she'll go on football camp. And I went on football camp every holiday. But if I was a different age bracket, my mum would be at home, which is an amazing thing, being a stay-at-home mum. But we wouldn't have had the disposable income to go and make me be who I am. That for me, I've thought about this a lot, and after the review and everything I've done, that for me is a huge factor. And I do think that's the reason, because then my environment is no different from my elder sister. I just had the opportunity. Like, she's nails, she's tough, she's resilient, she's more talented than me, far more talented than me in any athletic capacity. I just had the opportunity, and I just think it was that I had probably more financial support from my parents because I was effectively an only child.
I think, I hear that a lot, and I see that similarity with me as well, like having the opportunity, being in the right place with the right environment, the right coaching setup. But then I do think as well, though, like the way you describe yourself as a young girl, that obsession, like not every kid has that. You can put them in a great environment and give them opportunity, but some kids don't have that innate drive and that obsession to want to be better and better and push themselves. And it sounds like you had that from a young age. You are right. I think I always had a football with me. I was always practicing in the road and always taking football wherever I went. It was always with me. So I was always getting touches on the ball as much as possible. But I never thought it would end up to where it was. I just was, the right word is obsessed. I was obsessed with it, and I felt completely at home. I would kick the ball against the wall all the time and do my neighbour's head in all the time. And but it was just the best way, like honing your skills.
My siblings weren't around, I had no one to play with, so just smash it against the wall and just practice and work on your touch and things like that. And I loved it.
How much has it changed now? You talk about your niece, so is she a keen footballer as well?
She watches it, she loves it. When she was a lot younger, she went into a primary school and said, why do the boys have a football team and not the girls? And she got them a team. And I had nothing to do with that.
That's incredible.
But I forget that see it to be it is really important. And I think I'd been at the World Cup, and she'd come back, and I'd come back, and she was like, why is there a boys team, not a girls team? And they were like, good challenge, and fair play to school. They set it up and got it going, and that made me really proud. I had nothing to do with that. But it's the aim is to, it would have been the same when you spoke with Steph. We're institutionalised to leave it in a better place when we found it. I think, to be fair, all of us are all athletes and female athletes in particular, to leave it in a better place. And my aim is to never allow someone to feel or not have the opportunity my elder sibling had. It's to give them the best opportunity, and with those opportunities, it's down to them whether they take them, but we have to give more opportunities that they can make it. That was the difference just between me and my sibling. She's far more talented than me. She just didn't have the chance.
And do you think those changes you're starting to see those changes now?
I think so. Even the biggest one is just the perception. It's like, oh my God, you could be a lioness, or you're going to play for Lionesses when you're older, or you're going to play football, or like, you smile, people smile, like, that's amazing. And it's seeing it though. It's seeing it, isn't it? It's like now I was saying, like, 5 years ago, whatever, the visibility wasn't there, and there's these great female athletes, but you just don't see them. And there's all these amazing, cool ad campaigns around these male athletes, but there wasn't anything like that around the female athletes. And I think you Lionesses, you really just sparked a whole wave of excitement around women's sport. But I'm not just saying it because I'm sat here. I am in awe of what you've done for all of our careers, because you were a massive part of that. If we didn't see what you could do, we couldn't be that. Like, it's everyone. I know I'm like, it's really weird spelling it because you're right there, but it's really true. You've impacted so many female athletes, and particularly me, and I know the Lionesses, because we couldn't believe, many years ago, but to see you come through and power through and to do what you do and like really stand, and you're such a nice person as well. It's like, this is awesome. And so, yeah, you did a lot as well. So I hope you realise that.
Oh, that's so nice, honestly, because I think the same as you, you're just doing what you love, don't you? You're just doing what you love every day. It starts off as a hobby, then it becomes your career, and you're like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you almost become this role model, and people say, well, how does it feel to be a role model? You don't feel like a role model, do you? You're just doing what you love, and you want to create a better space for like the next generation of girls coming through. And I know you've spoken about like the mental health side of sport as well quite a bit in the past, and like the psychology and mindset around sport, I think is so important. Like, how have you found that process of dealing with your kind of mental health and mindset through sport?
It's probably been the biggest challenge. I think I can't hide it. I've been very open about my mental health in the past and dealing with certain stuff. And I went and researched, and I got a master's in psychology to help me.
Have you?
Yeah, to help me understand my own mechanisms and to help me. And I trained in trauma as well.
Amazing.
I went and did some extra stuff.
So when did you do your master's? Once you retired?
No, I'm in 2012. I did it
wow.
in the Olympics during the Olympics.
I mean, come on, you're doing the Olympics.
Yeah, but I didn't win the medals like you.
I know, but still, and then you're doing a master's in psychology. That's amazing.
It's basically when I was going through my difficult part of my life.
Yeah.
Part of my help to recovery was to understand a little bit more about it, and so I did like a one kind of short education on it, and then I thought, go that little bit further, and so I studied it for 2 years, and then like I said, I trained in trauma as well, and that was where I thought I'd go, maybe more down the psychology route of my career, but in the end I didn't, and chose a different path, but it's still very much a part of understanding, and probably why I think I'm empathetic towards people and like can sense things of people when they're not okay.
How did it help you with your training though, and your career? Did you use sports psychology a lot? Like, did you see a sports psychologist? Did you use your masters and that kind of level of education to help you?
I had to do like a form of rehab for my mental health.
Yeah,
like that was really tough. But yeah, I think talking to people is a really great way, and it massively helped me. And I'm a huge advocate for getting people to open up and speak to people. I think it's a great thing to do, and to be there for one another. And it's how you form friendships and bonds as well, like in your team. Like, when a teammate's struggling, if you can step up and help them, then they would go you're a team, you just want to do better and help each other. What
was the biggest thing that you learned about yourself during that time?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a deep question as well, yeah.
Yeah. What did I learn about not to give up?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not, in that time, it wasn't actually about sports, not to give up on yourself. Which, yeah, it's all good. But I think that was a challenge. But I find myself that I know I'm resilient, and that's why I know that I'll get my confidence through strictly if I keep pushing myself, because I know I'm pretty strong.
Yeah.
You just have to keep challenging yourself to see that you can do it, and then you're like, wow.
Do you have to take moments and just step back from it though at times and just be like, I can do this? And because I mean, being in those environments, like anyone's confidence gets knocked in different ways. Like it's hard, isn't it? It's challenging, but do you have to actively like step back and be like, right, I need to...
In sport or strictly?
In both.
I think though, at this moment, I'm 38, I have that more experience and that training, that understanding of who I am. I think when you're a youngster, you don't really understand, and you're in such a heightened environment, particularly sport, and you'll know this, it's intense and it's your life and it's your world, and you have these opportunities and you can't look back. Strictly is an amazing opportunity, and I want to be, but it's fun for me. Yeah. It's fun, it's a dream come true. Football is your life, it's your career, and you'll understand that. So there's that such immense pressure, and again, you'll understand that from the role that you played and how you did amazingly in your career. And I just wish I'd give myself a little less slack, and I wish I'd played like an 11-year-old kid. That's my regret from football.
That's hard though, isn't it? Because as soon as you start winning the accolades and, you're Young Player of the Year and your name's out there and people are seeing you more, then that does bring like another level of pressure. And it kind of, although you want it to still be your hobby and it's just something you love to do, it does change, doesn't it? It becomes, you don't want to let people down and you've got other commitments and sponsors and now you've performed at a level, you have to maintain that level. That's tough. That pressure is tough.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel, but I think when you're trying to get to the top or trying to win something, that journey's quite fun.
Yeah.
It's when you're there and you're constantly looking over your shoulder and everyone's chasing you. That's really, really hard because you're like, where do you find, like when you're chasing someone else, you know what that best looks like. But when you've won the trophies and you've got to keep going and you're in England, you've got to stay in the team, you've got to stay in the squad and you've got to keep going. Like that's where it becomes like, where do you keep getting these additional advantages and keep driving and keep the motivation and keep going? And, I did it for 17 years and, I didn't miss, apart from through injury, I didn't miss any England games or tournaments. I did 10 back-to-back tournaments and
that's incredible.
That's a lot in itself.
That is a lot. And like you say, you're in the team, so you've always got that competition amongst everyone else. Like it's not just the rest of the world and your other teams that you're competing against. It's within your team because you've got to be in the team, and that's a lot. I just had myself. I was like,
do you think that's? I often think that is like because there's so much pressure then on yourself. But like, is that better though because it's in your hands? Or would you, or like say you're in a team, like you could be the best, which you was, but if I let you down, you ain't gonna win. Like.
I'm an individual player completely. I could not. I don't think I could thrive in a team like you have in the past. Like, I'm like if I let myself down, that's fine. If I mess up, it's on me. Yeah. If I do well, it's on me. Great, I'll have the glory. But there's no one else. It's so hard when other people are relying on you. And I'm sure there's been loads of difficult moments in your career where. Someone's not played the way they were supposed to play, or you've not played the way, and there's those difficult discussions. For me, that was never the case. I just look in the mirror, have a word with myself, and not let anyone down, which is,
wow. But then I'm like looking at you going, that's a lot. Like, at least I've got my mate behind me to be like, come on, Kaz, give me a rocket or like help me out if I'm having a moment or I can help them out. Like, that's on you. And I'm like, it's really interesting, isn't it?
But what's so nice though is that when you have the glory in those amazing moments, they're such unique moments, aren't they? And when you're with a team, you've all experienced it. And that's such a bonding place to be. As an individual athlete, you have, your team around you, but no one really knows what it's like to be out there in the moment. And you've got that in a team, which I think is pretty special.
Yeah, that is. And I'm lucky that I've built not just teammates, they're my mates for life.
Yeah,
like, which
like
is
a family.
Genuine. They know me better than I've spent more time with them with my family, and that's I do love them so much.
Yeah. So let's move on to your golden moment. So this picture here, looking all youthful with all your trophies.
I've got a right little fat head there, haven't I? I definitely look like
you look so different.
I do, don't I?
But that was obviously a big couple of years now. You literally won everything.
Yeah, I should have retired then.
No, as if. But now I was going to ask you like the motivation though after that as well. Just describe to us and to the listeners that picture there.
So basically that's me when I was at Arsenal, and there is 5 trophies in there, but apparently one of them doesn't count, which is ridiculous.
What?
But we're known for winning the quadruple. So we won the Women's FA Cup. It was called something different, but it's the Champions League, Women's Champions League, the League Cup, and obviously the league. In one season, we won everything. And it's a lot of time, it does make me giggle when there's been male managers that have been asked about their team going, could you be the first team to win 4 trophies? And I know that Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola have both said, no, it has been done before, and alluded to our team, which I always think, go on, guys, thank you for that. But we won that. And that, as you were talking about team, that team has been the greatest team I've ever been a part of. The amount of individual ability within that team was frightening, but the way that those individuals conformed to the badge of the club and to put the club first and the team first.
Yeah.
Like we had you know, we had the best player in the world at the time in Kelly Smith. We had so many incredible individuals, but no one was ever bigger or greater than the badge. And we had a great manager in Vic Akers. Our assistant manager at the time was a young Emma Hayes. So she was hungry and motivated and was really good, and she was amazing to me as a young player. I was only 18 then. That was my first season at Arsenal, going from Birmingham, which was my home club, which was probably a big fish in a small pond, and I mean that in a nice way, to Birmingham. Going to Arsenal was a big club. London, I'd never really been outside of Birmingham, London, and big, and I realised, wow, this is Arsenal Football Club. And Vic Akers and Arsenal taught me about culture, about the badge, about respecting the badge, respecting your kit, being a professional, being elite, and everything I learned. And my fondest memories, of course, I've had a lot, but that for me is one of the greatest achievements. The sad thing about it is that at Arsenal we were so drummed into winning. It was a winning culture, that we thought we would go and do that again and again. And now I'm in the position I am, is that, as we just spoke about, when it's on you as an individual, you can control it. But there's so many uncontrollables within a bigger team and as individuals, to be fair. We never went and did it, and we didn't celebrate winning the quadruple in the way that we should have.
Oh, I think that's a really common regret with a lot of sports people, though. I think that you have those massive highs, don't you? But you almost can't celebrate them too much because you're still in the thick of your career, and you've got to always be looking at the next big goal. And then it isn't until you retire. And I feel the same. Some of those moments, I look back and I think, gosh, that was such a unique moment. And
which one for you?
I think partly the Olympics in some respect, because because I celebrated and I loved it. But then it was, you're back into winter training in October and you're back just grafting again, aren't you? And it's kind of like it never happened. But you have to be like that to then push on and keep competing and keep winning. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. You look back and you think, oh, do you know what? That was really special, and I wish I'd celebrated it a little bit more.
It's rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're right, you're so hungry and you think, oh, we can do it again. And that, like, you are motivated, like you said, the motivation, you are, and clearly you were, because you said you were back in training. I would have been out partying. I'd have been like...
There was some parties.
Yeah, oh, good. I'm really glad. You deserved it. But yeah, like it's so rare when everything comes together, and also it could come together for you, but you could also be against a team that are funded better than you, have got even better it's you know, do you speak about luck and timing and things that all does play a huge part in it. But that was a really happy time for me, and I also felt I developed from probably a talented young girl into a woman football player, like I physically and had the confidence, and Arsenal gave me that for the 3 years I was there, and I'm entirely grateful for my opportunity. And honestly, it's really proud to have Arsenal on my CV as well as the other clubs, but Arsenal was really special time for me.
And what was it like after that season though? Because obviously you said you thought you'd go on and win more, but was the motivation still there? Was it still like super high, or did it dip a bit? And was there like a, you know, we've kind of reached our peak?
We never thought we'd reached our peak, but other teams then just saw what we could do, and it just changed. Other teams went pro. At the time, Leon then really went big and really invested and went for it, and we were still semi-pro. We were training at 6. I was driving to and back from London, training from 6 in the evening till 8 o'clock, getting back at 10:30, and you know, other teams were then starting to go pro. So that's where the things start to shift. But we never changed our mentality. We never changed wanting to win and wanting to be the best. Sometimes in life, other people are better than you. You just gotta, even though you try your hardest, you just gotta take it on the chin sometimes and just keep trying to get better.
And what was life like after? So moving on to your third item here.
Yeah.
So you're in a completely different role, and you know, life changes massively, doesn't it, when you retire from sport? And it's like hard, you have to forge yourself almost a new career. Did you think that you would always go into punditry? Was that like the natural route for you?
It was the natural route because I've been doing it, but the only reason why I'd been doing punditry was to be a better footballer.
Okay.
So being honest to you, and I don't know, well, you're brilliant at it the whole career, but for me at 26, I started to realise I was slowing down. I started to feel it in my body. I thought, I can't retire, I'm 26. Because I had been going since I was 17, so I'd been doing it, you know. And I got injured and I got offered to go and do a Birmingham City men's game. Said, do you want to come and talk about the game, do a bit of punditry? And I thought, great, I'll get a free ticket, I'll go and watch the game.
Yeah.
And started doing it. And my mum said, while you're out injured, learn and study the game better. And I thought, she's onto something there. So I thought, I'm starting to slow down in my body. If I can read the game quicker, better than anybody else, I don't have to get in a foot race.
Yeah.
So as a young kid, as a 17 to 26, I was pretty quick. I could go next year, I could sprint next year. I was pretty fast. I started to realise I didn't have that burst anymore. So I had to think, okay, well, what happens if I see all the patterns happen before the defender? I can start my run before they do, and I'm already in an advantage to them.
So it's all just about positioning, reading where the ball's going. And,
if my game understanding was better than your game understanding, I could see the game quicker than you, and therefore I wouldn't have to be in a race with you.
Yeah, that's such great foresight though. I think so many athletes, like still in their career in that position, wouldn't have the foresight to think, do you know what, I need to adapt the way I perform and you know, my education around the game. Like that's so forward thinking.
But also, because I'd done my psychology masters in 2012, 2013, my dissertation was on team talk. So I followed a non-league men's team and like went in there and listened to their pre-game, half-time and post-game team talks.
Yeah.
So I was heavily into tactics and analysis through that as well. So I was adding it through like, I wanted to understand the game better. I thought it would give me career longevity by reading the game quicker than anyone else. And it got to, because I was at Chelsea with Emma Hayes, she used to, when I was injured, she used to make me go and do the scouting reports for the opposition.
Okay.
And take meetings and be like, get on the board and say like, this is what the other team are doing. This is why I think they're doing it. Because she knew I needed stimulating while I was injured. So there was so many factors of why I went into punchy, but it was always to be a better footballer, to read the game quicker than anybody else. So I didn't have to race against you and I could still get to the ball quicker than you. I couldn't.
Can't race you now.
But no, I'm all right, thanks. I'd still be in my heels. Just. But that was the whole point. It was never to be a pundit. It was always to make me, and I'd be another factor, if I'm brutally honest. I got hammered by one of my teammates once at Chelsea. I walked in and they're like, oh, you were on the telly last night? Because I did it whilst I played a little bit. And I said, yeah. And they're like, hammered me. He's like, oh, I bet you've earned a bit of money there. And I went, you know, the money I earned, I hammered them back. I bought myself some recovery pumps so I can go home and recover. And I was like, yeah, that shut you up, didn't it? So I did punditry and I bought recovery pumps because I wanted to be a footballer for as long as I could.
Yeah.
And we didn't have the money to go and buy recovery pumps, but the punditry allowed me to do that. So it was so many reasons why I did it, but not one of them was to go into it as a career. It's really weird.
So how did it feel when you did though? Like what was it like doing those first matches and being part of that team? Like did it feel quite natural to you because you'd started that process, or did it feel completely weird?
And because I'd done punditry whilst I played, it was never, it was serious, but it wasn't. But then when you take it and you retire and it is your job, then you're like, oh, this is serious. And actually, like me talking to the audience about diamonds and inverted fullbacks and this and that, a lot of people don't really know, don't really care.
Yeah.
And what I didn't realise is that it's TV, there's lights, there's cameras, there's earpieces, there's still teams, there's timings, there's ad breaks. Like, I've got to be generous to get your point in, which you'll know because you do all the punditry. Punditry, is that how you say it in athletics as well? Yeah, it's still punditry. Like you understand it, you've got to get your time in, the lights, the cameras, your how you speak, who you're speaking to. Can the 10-year-old little girl, little boy understand? Can the 60-year-old man or woman understand? Can, you know, is everyone understanding what you're saying? Because they might not have watched a game. They might watch a game every week, but someone might watch it once every 4 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And so all that understanding, you're like, but I thought I knew football and I just want to talk about football. But actually, there's so much more that goes into it, which
Gosh, there's so much. And you're right, it's about timing. It's, all the things that are going off in your ear at the same time. And yeah, you're on a panel essentially, aren't you? So you have to allow time for everybody to have their moment. There's so much. And I found it a completely different environment to be in. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go into punditry, but then actually really enjoyed it.
What do you like about it?
So I love like the team element. I love that kind of, working with the people that I work with and still being involved in sport, but not so intensely. Like I would never want to be a coach or anything like that, but I still like being in that sporting environment and knowing that I know who's coming through and what the top athletes are doing. Like I feel connected. I love that feeling.
That's cool.
But it's a strange world. And for you as well, like in football, I'm always aware of what I'm saying and I'm, questioning what I'm saying all the time. But then you almost can't. You have to have an honest opinion and be vocal and call things out. But in football, there's so many critics out there, isn't there? There's so many. And I actually don't know how you deal with it, on a day-to-day, because everybody wants to tell you how to do your job.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Not very well. I mean, I've got better the last 18 months.
Yeah.
Definitely got a lot better. I try not to think about everybody else now. The thing that I really work on and what I focus on is Emma Hayes said it to me once when I was a player. She said, don't play to impress me or the managers, play to impress your teammates.
Yeah.
So what I tend to do now is that if I'm a good teammate, I'm generous with my timing, I'm well researched, I'm well prepped, I'm a good person, I treat the runner the same as the top person in the room who probably runs the whole thing. If I treat everybody right, then I'm there to impress my fellow pundits.
Yeah.
So if I'm on with Roy or Ian or whoever it might be, if they're happy with me, then I'm happy. I can't control the narrative of what people think about me, and that's what's really helped me over the last year or so. But the reason, again, going back to the Strictly thing is I think the punditry particularly has crushed and crippled me on many occasions, and it's really lost who I am, and I've maybe forgot who I am a little bit. And I feel like there's this perception of me being this hard-hitting, miserable pundit. I'm not. I'm just doing my job and in that role, which is 10% of who I am. The people that see me with a smile on my face on a Saturday and I'm actually hopefully a nice person and want to be positive is actually who I am, but the job just portrays me a different way.
But you're doing your job though, and I notice it as well in different sports that it's still very different for a male pundit to have a comment and say something in a certain way to a female saying exactly the same thing. You'll always get different opinions. So, for example, if one of my male colleagues makes some comment about, one of the athletes not performing well and it's not good enough, well done, great comment. That should be said. But if I said it, why is she saying that? She's been a bit hard. Like there's just a completely different backlash of opinions on it. And I think that's the male and female divide. And I think that still happens a lot on TV.
Yeah, but I think, I know, and I get that. And I'm sorry you have to deal with stuff as well. It's nice to chat to someone that has been through it and understands it. I think when you were talking then, I was listening, and the one person that actually popped up into my mind was Micah Richards.
Yeah.
I remember doing Match of the Day quite a few years back. And it was after I'd had a heavy backlash, real heavy backlash. And he called me up and he's like, you should be really proud. He's like, you've got to go through the glass ceiling, Kaz. And it's hard to go through the glass ceiling. Yeah. But you will come through it. And I do think it's getting there. I do think there's a more familiarity maybe of particularly me being on the TV and me being on that presence in that football setting. Maybe that's just my telling myself, but I thought his advice of saying it's going to be hard because you're going through a change that maybe people are not used to, but he rang me up and was like, you will get through the glass ceiling, Kaz. Don't lose faith in that. And I think keep going, keep improving, keep being a better pundit, keep being a good person as best as you can, be great to your teammates, be generous, and hopefully you'll get there, and the rest I can't control.
Yeah. And it's almost just like, you just have to put it to one side, don't you? Just not read the comments and just do what you do best. And I think people like Micah and, all the other pundits and the people that you work with, like, they help bring the perspective of what you're doing. I think you're a fantastic pundit. I think you're amazing at what you do and so knowledgeable. Okay, I've got some quick fire questions before we end. I
talk
quickly.
A bit, so sorry I'm not very quick firing.
Honestly, it's so good. No, I'm terrible at quick fire. I answer them too long, but let's go.
I want to interview you though. This is really annoying.
You do? No, don't stop asking me questions.
I know, but the people want to know about you as well though.
No, they don't. Right. We're here for you. They want to know about you. So, okay, are you ready?
Quick fire.
When is your golden hour? So a time that you feel like completely yourself. Time of the day, time of the year, just whenever.
Christmas.
Oh, yes. Another Christmas fan.
Christmas, yeah. I didn't really, but I really love Christmas. You get into the spirit. You get a little bit of time off.
Yeah.
You can let your hair down a little bit. I love it. I'm with all my family, which is, as you get older, it's hard because everyone has their own lives. Yeah. Christmas is a great one. And then quick fire, my other bit when I'm myself is when I've eaten.
Okay, good.
I get good energy. Hungry. Yeah, I get good energy.
Okay, who's been your golden influence in your life?
My mum, 100%. She's incredible. She's strong. She's everything. Is just, I can't even put into words what a wonderful person she is. Really, I'm like so proud that she's my mum.
Oh, do you have a golden moment you completely messed up but you can laugh about now?
I missed a penalty. But I don't really laugh about it, which cost us the league.
Oh no,
but I don't
laugh
really,
about it now.
Not really. I don't know. In sport, a golden moment. I don't know. I'm not sure you can laugh about moments that you've messed up. I don't know. Have you got one? Maybe you can inspire me. See what I mean?
No, I can't. I actually can't even repeat one of them because it makes me cringe that much. So I'm just not going to say.
Let's move on.
Let's
move
next
on. Quick fire.
Okay. Okay. A big one. Would you rather?
Oh no.
Lift the glitter ball?
Yeah.
For Strictly, or for England men to win the World Cup?
Oh,
that's tough.
I'm going to get some backlash if I don't say the men, ain't I? Well, you know what? Winning Strictly would be for me, but actually I think it would be great for the country to feel another England team win. The Lionesses have won it. It'd be nice for the men's team to win it. So I'll think about other people rather than myself in that moment.
Okay, and I'm going to say the trophy for you as well. You've got to raise
that
trophy.
Thank you. I'd love to.
But yeah, they're all my questions. So thank
amazing.
You so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being so open and just
okay.
It's been amazing listening to your career and wishing you the best of luck with Strictly.
Thank you.
We're watching every week and voting.
Thank you. I
feel like I need all the Strictly gossip as well. You're gonna have to come back on.
Oh yeah. Well, if you'll have me on, I'd love to come back. I'd love to interview you. Not like for any I just love, even not with the cameras on, I'd just love to have a chat and be like, wow, tell us about you. I think you're brilliant. So, and you know that anyway, but yeah, thanks for having me on. I really mean it.
It's been a pleasure.